The man they fired became their boss, a story of justice. He closed the door of his apartment that night with a soft click of resignation. The cardboard box trembled in his hands. A stapler, a framed photo of his wife, a mug that said, "Integrity is everything." Irony had a sense of humor. His name was Yasin, a quiet man, 38, known for his calm demeanor and unmatched honesty, the kind of employee companies say they want, until he speaks the truth that costs them. They fired him for exposing a money laundering operation inside the company, run by upper management. They made it look like he violated a code of conduct. But everyone inside knew. They silenced him because he refused to be one of them. That night, Yasin didn't rage. He didn't cry. He sat in his kitchen staring at the mug. "Integrity is everything," he whispered. "Then why does it feel like it got me nowhere?" But somewhere in that silence, a seed was planted. The kind of seed only betrayal can grow. The fall and the fight. The next few months were dark. Job offers? None. Reputation? Tainted. He was blacklisted by the very people he tried to protect. Friends avoided him. Former colleagues sent him cold texts. Even recruiters seemed nervous to touch his resume. But every morning, he sat at his desk and wrote. He wrote ideas, business plans, sketched models of what a clean and just company could look like, a place where truth didn't cost you your livelihood. At night, he read business ethics, law, digital marketing. He watched free courses, rewound them 10 times until he understood. If I can't find a door, he thought, I'll build one. He started small, freelancing, consulting, 1 client, then 2, then 5. His name began to float in circles he never imagined. Rise of the Quiet One. Within 2 years, he launched Veritas, a startup offering transparency compliance systems for corporations. The same kind of system that could have saved his old company, if they had chosen ethics over ego. At first, no one believed in him. Investors scoffed, competitors mocked, but clients, real ones, loved it. His system exposed fraud, protected whistleblowers, and prevented corruption. By year 3, Veritas had grown into a mid-sized company with 80-plus employees. Yasin paid every one of them fairly. Transparent salaries, clear contracts, a culture where anyone could speak truth, even against him. He became what they told him he'd never be. Sometimes you don't rise despite injustice, he told his team. You rise because of it. The return one morning, his assistant came in. "You've been invited to consult for M&P Global," she said. "They're struggling with legal exposure, internal fraud. They need Veritas." M&P Global, the same company that fired him. Yasin smiled. "Schedule it," he said. He walked through the same lobby 2 weeks later, not as an employee, but as the CEO of the firm they now needed. They greeted him with nervous smiles. Some old faces looked away. Others tried to remember if they'd been kind to him. In the boardroom, he laid out their violations clearly. Calm, director, no anger, just facts. "We can fix this," he said, "but only if you're willing to be held accountable." Silence. Then one executive spoke. "You were right, Yasin. We just didn't want to hear it." Yasin nodded. "You didn't fire me for breaking rules. You fired me because I kept them." Justice served. They signed the contract. Veritas would oversee their internal reform. Yasin returned to that office every week, not as a subordinate, but as a compass. And slowly the company changed. People began speaking up. Corrupt executives were fired. Whistleblowers were protected. But most importantly, Yasin proved something bigger. That justice doesn't always scream. Sometimes it just returns, quietly, stronger, wiser, and undeniable. As he stood on the rooftop of his new headquarters one evening, watching the city lights flicker, someone asked, "If you could go back, would you still speak up?" He smiled. "They took my job, yes, but if I stayed silent, I would have lost myself. And that's a price I'll never pay." He turned to his team. "If the system ever silences your truth, don't just shout louder. Build something they can't ignore. If you've ever been punished for doing the right thing, share this. Justice isn't always loud. Sometimes it walks back in.